Nation.
Blue Steel.
God. Blue Steel. Blue Steel is in the house.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. What is it? April what? 13th?
I have no idea.
April 13th.
All I know is in a couple more weeks, it's gonna be May. Sorry.
You're going to see those memes all across our Facebook here in a couple weeks.
Yes.
It's going to be May. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope everybody's having a great week. Everybody's fired up with some energy and a little
I heard
enthusiasm.
someone screaming down the hallway.
Yeah.
Someone's screaming down the hallway.
Someone's screaming.
I might need to check that
love.
out. They're either that excited or something's going on in the office. I don't know what's going on.
So we had an awesome event on Friday. I don't know about you, but I had a good time. I don't know about you. Did you have a good time?
I had I don't really remember everything that happened that day.
Kind of blacked out.
I blacked out a little bit. Yeah, kind of blacked out. That, a few monsters will do that to you. So, but it was absolutely insane in a good way. I thought it was a blast. It was a lot of fun putting on and moderating and stuff with you. So
absolutely
awesome job, Chris. Definitely.
Oh, dude, man,
we rocked the crap out of that. That was
I'll
fun.
tell you what, the cool part is none of us can do the things that we do without the support of everyone else. So the staff needs you, the agents, to produce, so they have things that they can do and they can shine. The agents need the staff so they could shine a little bit more. People like, partnerships that Jimmy and I are forming here. I can't do the things that I need to do without his support. And you find that out really quickly, enabling both of us to be able to be free to, express ourselves and give our support the way that we need to. Awesome symbiotic relationships going on around the company. And it's just really amazing for everybody to step into their power and to be able to shine for a few moments. So you did an amazing job.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely amazing. The comments that we're getting are just amazing feedback. So thank you so much for everybody that showed up. And keeping on with some of the themes from there, we're going to talk about ways that you can use Moxie to benefit your business, trying to make it a little more, not just walk through Moxie, set up Moxie, put your name here. It's got to do this here. Here's some tactical information because you heard the panel. The Moxie panel that we had was really, really good. The agents that are using it are getting some phenomenal results. So getting some great feedback, not only from them saying that this is a great platform, but from their consumers. Their consumers are saying that this is amazing. They were impressed to no end with what they had there. So what we wanted to do is talk more about Moxie, using it in a tactical way. How can you use the platform that we have to potentially generate new business, create new conversations, and provide more value to more people?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So before we get started, you know how Chris and I like to roll, or more it's me doing it and Chris just jumping along with it. I'm going to go ahead and start a poll for you all. So for the 47 of you that are online so far, if you've been on one of these, trainings before, you will have seen some of these questions, but please take the next couple minutes. There's not just questions about Moxie, but there's also some questions towards the bottom about how you like the next level rally and, some of your favorite parts and stuff like that. I'd love to take some of that feedback and use that for future events that we do. So at least for the 50 of you online now, please, if you get a chance, please go ahead and start rocking out that survey.
So let's talk about some of the questions while you're going through those. Have you created a presentation on Moxie yet? This one we've asked quite a few times. We're really hoping that more of you get engaged with it and start using the presentations, because the feedback that we're getting is phenomenal. Like the presentations, I personally use them. I just had one more person call me yesterday, personal friend of mine. I've had 3 people call me in the last 30 days and ask, what's my home worth? We're thinking of selling. And I used Moxie, created a little video, put it together, put a nice little presentation to them about the value of their home, sent it over to them and walked through it with them. It's been awesome. It has been awesome. So the feedback has been great and has been very powerful to use. So if you're not using it, please get in there and start playing with it. And that's why we're doing some of these classes.
Yeah. And I think, Chris hit it on the head a little while ago too. It's not just about how easy it can be once you play around and use the technology and are making presentations and using the CRM, but it's what it's what your customers, clients, and friends and family are actually seeing. I know in our meeting yesterday, Chris said how well they kind of perceived the presentation as it came over. I had one that I sent out for someone who was thinking about selling one of his investment properties. And when I sent it to him, he was like, his email and then text to me was, holy shit, that presentation was fantastic. Thank you for taking the time. Oh, and by the way, it took like 5 minutes. So, but it's just definitely a differentiator at this time for us.
That's what kind of leads us to what we're going to talk about today, using the Moxie presentation to create a CMA, a basic range price for anybody who's a past client or a sphere of influence that owns a home. They should know what their home is worth. A past client who bought a home, the 3 that have called me all bought their home about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Every single one of them is at least almost double, but more. I had one of them that he paid $207 and he could probably get about $450 for it. Don't you think that that's good information they should know? You know it, they should know it. And would it change the trajectory of decisions that they make over the next 1 month, 6 months, or a year? Would it put them in a different position? How many people are not in a position that they can work in the real estate business where they have unlimited opportunities to earn income, where you can step out, any one of you online can step out and earn 50,000, 100, 150,000 in a quarter. We had somebody just earn about $150,000 in 1 month last month. So you have that opportunity, but a lot of the people that are in your sphere don't have that opportunity. So if we can put $200,000 into their pocket, that could drastically change their life. And shouldn't they at least know that that's there and they have the opportunity to do it? 100, 150, $200,000. Anybody that's bought a home in the last 3 years, 3 years or more, definitely that's probably going to be the case. Definitely, probably like 60% of the time.
It works all the time. It works all the time. Right. Yes. So I'm gonna let this survey go just for a little bit longer. We're almost up to 40, and then we'll kind of share the results.
What are some of the other questions that are on there?
So obviously, the first one was, have you made a presentation in Moxie Present yet? Have you logged in to Moxie Engage yet? All these numbers, by the way, are trending a lot higher than they have the past 2 times that we've done this, which is what we want to see.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, someone did say, what does CRM even mean? Thank you so much, whoever did that. That's Craig. That's got to be Craig. I don't know. Also, have you saved the new lead phone number in? That's for Leads Engine, and pretty much, I mean, it's at 80%, definitely higher than what it was before.
Yep.
What are you talking about, Willis? That is the phone number that when a lead does come through, goes through Leads Engine, you will get you need to save the number and make sure that you answer so you can get those leads. Then we went on, what did you think about the next level rally? So 83% were like, we need more of this. So more to come on that. We did have one person say it was okay. 6 people said, what was the next level rally? So if you did not make it last Friday, missed any of the emails that went out for the past.
Well, some of you may not know that that's what it was called. Last Friday's event that we did all day was called the Next Level Rally. And so we have a lot of focus around next level concepts. So there's a next level for all of you. Every single one of you has another level that you haven't hit yet, or another level that you're working towards, or another level that you can ascribe to. And the whole point in that is, it doesn't matter what that is for any of you. If you've done 4 deals and your goal is to do 8, that's your next level. If you've done 40 deals and your goal is to slow down to 20, that's your next level, whatever that is. And getting around people that are doing any and all of those things in a next level rally. Let's rally together, give some awards, give some credit where credit's due, get a little bit of training, have some fun, get some energy and enthusiasm. It's kind of the whole point.
So I think, well, one of them, Brian, said that there wasn't an option for I didn't get a chance to attend. So that's also why they clicked it. And then finally, awesome, Tammy just got a listing yesterday from answering a lead call. That's fantastic. And the last question, I just kind of listed some of the things that happened that day. And it's pretty consistent across the board on what, what everybody liked.
Mm-hmm.
So listing panel, Moxie panel. I mean, we're trending a little higher. Chris, we still can keep our job. We're trending a little bit higher. Good job, man. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to end that there. Okay.
Cool. So great feedback. I really appreciate you guys kind of chiming in and giving us a little feedback there. And that just, it helps us to see the trends, seeing that people are using the systems and the things that we're doing work, the classes that we're doing, the engagement that we're working on. And I mean, if you look at everything that you and Angelique and the team has done with Moxie to try and create just create that momentum. I mean, unbelievable. The amount of work that goes into it, you guys don't see most of it, but the amount of work that goes into it, I mean, this guy has been awesome. And I'll say it again, Him and Angelique have done such an amazing job with this rollout that when Jimmy went to 121 and was presenting to Century 21 and with the Moxie group, they were giving him so much props and kudos for the way that he did it and the way that they've rolled this out with the company, that they are literally trying to steal him away to use him in other projects just because of his energy and the way that he does things. So amazing job as always. And I'll let you take it away and we can talk more about Moxie from here.
Yeah, so let's kind of jump into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about two different things specifically today in very tactical ways and show you how to do it. We're going to spend time on everybody's got, well, not everybody, okay, because we do have some newer agents on there, but a lot of agents have some past clients. I mean, shoot, use this for your sphere. If you have sphere, you know where they live, take what we're using here, not just for your past clients, but for your sphere. And we're going to, sphere. We're going to...
Those letters don't go together.
They don't. There's a silent F somewhere in that word. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how tactically and exactly what to do for, let's say, a past buyer that purchased a home that they should know what it's worth. I mean, you already discussed that.
Yeah.
We're going to show you how to add a video onto it to personalize it for those past clients. Because if you have not been following up with your past clients, you need to be doing this. And Moxie's going to give you the opportunity to be able to reach out to some people that maybe you haven't, because we have some really cool, sexy stuff that they can even take advantage of too. So we're going to spend some time on that. Then the next thing we're going to do, which I've had a lot of people reaching out, is, digital farming. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get out to a specific farm. I'm going to show you today how you can take a farm, integrate it into Moxie Engage, and then set them up on neighborhood news. So every month, they are going to be getting something. They're going to be getting a newsletter from you that's letting them know how the market is going.
Yep. And if you don't have past clients, that's okay. You know people that own homes. So you live in a neighborhood or you live in an area where there's other people around you that own homes, adopt them as a past client, because at some point they bought a home. At some point they moved into that home. And at some point over the last couple of years, they've earned and gained a lot of equity. So adopt some of your sphere and the homeowners in your sphere or in your farm or in your neighborhood as that. And this is what you're going to use.
All righty. So let's start with Moxie presentation. So for all of you that do not know to log in, well, if you need instructions, go to the Next Level Resource Center, click on Moxie, and you'll see the login guide. But you can either go to 21 Online, or you can take the specific program you want to use, like Present, and you could do present.century21.com or Engage. Just once you log in, go save it. Come over here, click the little star, save it so it's on your URL. Man, I can't. These letters are just kind of combining a little too much today. Okay, cool. So Chris here is my past client. Okay. So
hold on, stop that for a minute. Yeah, scroll down. You're using this thing, huh?
Well, some of it you'll see tests like $7.99, $800. I haven't done that many. I've done a lot. But a lot of these, like I made one for a farm. I made one for clients. I have past buyers that I'm working with.
So he's not just getting in here and playing around with it and creating things and hoping that they work. Look at how many pages.
I have 6 pages worth of stuff that I've done.
He's using it. He's sending it to past clients. He's sending it to buyers, sending it to sellers. We're testing these different things. And every time Jimmy walks into the office, he goes, so I got this cool idea. And he starts playing around with it and we see if it works. And we go over it and he uses it. So we're coming up with a lot of these things just out of pure necessity and need because we're using it. And he's using the system. So
I'll tell you, one of the first things I did when we got Moxie Present is I reached out to all my neighbors and my friends, and some of them were past clients, and I just made some stuff and sent it out and said, hey, what do you think? Let me know. And then I got some good feedback, and I got someone saying, hey, why don't you try and add this or add your reviews like this, and just kind of gave me some feedback. So it kind of put it out there for them. If they decided they want to look at it again, it's always there for them to basically look at until I delete it. Now, I'm going to take one step back real quick when it comes down to when it comes down to using this technology. And obviously I know this pretty well. I don't know everything. I use this little help feature down here all the time to get answers, but you have to get in and you have to play with it. If you're not comfortable sending something out to a client, Send it to yourself. Send it to a personal email address. Send it to me. I don't care.
Send it to your family first.
Let them
Like,
look. Yeah, just get
find a brother, cousin,
comfortable.
mom, anybody, and send them something with a presentation and
Right.
ask them to sit down and look at it and kind of go over it with them.
And Mike, yes, I will show you a way that you can go in as long as their email address is set up as public records, which I'll show you in Remind, that you can set them up on monthly newsletters. Now, the monthly neighborhood newsletters that the neighborhood news that you get set up is all subscription based. If they don't want to be on it, they can unsubscribe. You're good to go. But we're going to get to that part on the second half.
Cool.
So we're here in Chris bought a house a couple years ago. I haven't reached out to him a little bit. I've been so busy. I want to go ahead and send something to him. Yeah, he bought a house. He bought a couple houses. So I just want to follow up with him and just let him know what his property's worth. So when we do this, we're going to create new. Okay, just for those of you that are using this, property review is a new tab. I have not got into this yet. I think there's just a default thing in there. Don't worry about that one yet, unless you want to be an overachiever. I'm going to click on seller. I am going to do a seller presentation, Century 21. With comps, because I'm just going to give him a range. I'm not going to say this is exactly what it's like, because he may have done stuff to the house the last couple years that I don't know about. So I'm going to give him a range of where it should fall in, and then maybe this gets me into the house. We look at it, and then I can adjust those ranges. But it's going to be at least a nice. Okay, listing source is going to be primaries, stellar for us over here on this side. If you have multiple MLSs that you're involved with, you can change that. We leave it as a luxury and then hit create. So it does take a few seconds to kind of come in here. Now, I'm a terrible agent. What's your address?
5306.
I'm just kidding. You're going to want to, this. Don't call and ask what's your address again. That's not going to work. Moonshell, right?
You can also go, if they bought the home and it was an MLS, you can put the MLS number in up there, and it'll pull an old photo and it will pull some old data. Just make sure that you delete some of that data out, because what it's going to do is going to pull the old price and pull the old listing price and old sale price.
Moonshell, right?
Moonshell. Silent. The second L is silent.
Second L is silent. So what this will do is when I start typing in the address, it does tie into Google Maps, so I can see that this is where his property is located. So I don't have to fill in any more of this information if I don't want to. I'm just going to do some basic. So what, we're 5 or 4?
5, 3
full.
3 full.
Square foot.
2989.
Okay, that's pretty good. How about your built? Let's throw that in there.
In 2014.
And okay, I'm going to leave it some basic. I'm not going to go crazy. This is, again, I will do more of this information if I'm going back for a listing presentation. We don't want to take a ton of time.
If you pull the MLS data, scroll down a little bit, it will fill in some of, go back up. It'll fill in this section. If it was put in MLS, it'll fill this section in. That way, some of it will be filled in already and you can expand on it. Just be careful, because the previous MLS information was put in by human hands. So they may have messed it up. It may not be correct, and we don't want to upset them anymore. So you don't have to. Don't.
Well, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little time here.
Oh, you want to get you a photo?
I want to get myself a photo. All right, so I'm going to go to Google here. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just going to snap a quick. I don't like the way this looks. Too far. Well, you know what this will do. I'm just going to snap a little photo just to make it look a little nicer.
Make it pretty.
Why is it new?
Click new. There you go. Now just move it.
No,
you click new.
Yeah.
Move the box. There you go. Now.
Oh, because the new version. We need to get my first time using the snip tool. Okay. So I'm just going to save this real quick. All right. So back to my presentation. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to browse and I'm going to add whatever I just did there.
Fix the computer.
So I'm going to add that. Computer's good. We're good to go. All right. Awesome. So now what's up is, again, you don't want, I wouldn't say spend hours on this. All I want to do is, I know the square footage, it's automatically going to maneuver the square footage about 200 square feet.
Yep.
Now what I might do is I might go a little bit I could get rid of all of it. Honestly, I'm sending all this. Maybe I'll go like 2,500, just see what's going on. And
Yep.
then I don't know how big they go. So
30. Yeah, that's fine.
okay. So now I also know that this is his community right here. So I'm actually going to draw around his community because we don't need to have, okay, that did not draw anything. Sorry. Not close enough. Okay. So now I have this set up. I like looking at it as status from active to sold.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I'm seeing when I do this more and more is I'm starting to see more of this, more actives.
Yep.
And then and then some of them seeing like a crap ton of pendings that are like sitting in there, which again, I'm not saying anything's happening in the market, but just kind of look at that stuff.
Yep.
So now I can come through here and I want him to see, I'm going to check off the ones just by clicking the picture here.
Yep.
At any time I can go in here. Again, I don't want to spend too much time, but I want to get a decent amount. Like, I don't want it to be like, hey, your house is between $500,000 and $900,000. I need to kind of narrow it in there. Now,
And as you go through this, you can change the range. So if the properties you choose show a range between $500,000 and $900,000, you have the ability to change that number, which we'll show you in a little bit. So don't be overly concerned with that. We're trying to get them some information. This is literally just for them. Hey, I know you live in this neighborhood. I know you've probably seen that home. I know you've probably looked at Zillow or something else. You've probably seen these before. So I'm going to put them in here.
now, and then Mike asked on the picture, Mike, if you don't take the picture yourself, you should, like, I wouldn't just throw it in there. If anything if it says Stellar MLS, if it says Google, like, I just took that little snippet because anybody can see that and that picture changes at all times.
Yep.
Ideally, what you want to do is take the picture that you probably have of the property when you sold it. Like, I have a thing of always taking a picture of the house after I close, save that so you can use that, save that down the line. So one of the cool things with Moxie Present is when you're actually getting into pricing is when I click this detail button, I can actually see what's going on with the property. Now, this is fed directly from MLS. So you can see on the right, if there's a pool, you have all that information that you have here with HOA and that kind of stuff. But one of the cool things with this is it does give you the private remarks. So when you look at it, you see the private remarks, which are the confidential remarks in MLS. Your client does not, or your buyer, your sphere, whatever, does not see that. But this is that way you don't have to go back to MLS to try to pull some information. Okay. Are we worth 850 grand?
Nope. No, it's 2 acres. So that's a good one. And this, you can say that's a good one. There's a good one.
So again, take a little bit of time. I know it's a 1-story, 3-car garage. I'm not going to pick some of the 2 stories. I'm not gonna.
And we know that it's like, what the quality of the house is compared to the others. So if you see some that are, the price is too low, don't include them. That one was too low. It was too long ago. You can go and change.
And that's the thing too. So when I look at pricing, one of the first things, which I didn't do in this case, I come over here to where it says sold and I change it from 6 months and I go down to 3 months.
Yep.
And you're going to see when you do, like, for a farm, I would actually go down to 30 days because it could be kind of insane. But I'm going to leave it like this for now. Okay. So I found my properties. And then when I go next over to the listing standpoint, you're going to see that I have a total of basically 7 properties. Again, I'm going to adjust it from active to sold. So this is what's active. I'm not adjusting prices. I mean, I could, if I know he has a pool. If some of these do not have a pool, maybe I will throw it in there because that's nothing else that, I mean, that's going to give, more value.
True.
But when it comes to everything else, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to go kind of short and sweet. Okay. So once you make sure those are the properties that you want, we're going to go to this estimate page. It's going to automatically pull up what it thinks the house is worth, which is 580. What I would recommend to do is by looking at these numbers and seeing kind of what everything is, because 580 is what is, I mean, there's only one pending right now. So if I think that this is where the number should be, that's great. But in this case, I probably want to do a little bit of a range. So I'm just going to go to like a 1% difference just to have for now. So I'm going to say between 574 and 586. Maybe I think it is worth more because of the pool, I can adjust that number. And, maybe that range is between 575 and like 625 because we have a pool.
Yep. And that's a good range. That's basically a 10% range up or down for a, $500,000-$600,000 home at, 10% plus or minus. Hey, and it's going to be dependent on what you've done to the property recently, we're just trying to give them a range. Hey, looks like the averages are in this range and you're going to be between this and this, because I know that you have this and this, but I haven't seen it recently and it might be a little bit more than that.
Yep.
So give them a nice little range that they can see. And that's going to get them started with their brain doing this. That's all we're trying to do. Get the brain going, get them thinking of you, get them thinking of some dollar amounts, money, where their home is worth. Get them thinking I made an awesome decision when I bought my home 3 years ago.
So I got a little range here. Now, what I want to do too is because I think this is very impactful for a buyer or a past client, because yeah, seeing a number between 575 and 625 is fantastic. But really, what does that mean for them? So I would highly recommend. So if I go right in what we say 570, so I'm going to say 600. I'm going to go right in the middle. Well, you know what? Watch this. I'm going to do 575. That's the low end, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that he just bought the house a few years ago. He only has a mortgage of 250 grand on it. I helped him sell it, or I helped him buy it, whatever it's going to be. All right. I'm going to throw all this stuff in here just so they can see what cost would be, because this may get some, some conversations going about what it looks like. What's title insurance on that?
575 per thousand. So 600, about 4,200 bucks.
All right. What about doc stamps? Same thing.
70 cents per 100. So 600, about 4,200 bucks. It's going to be around 4,000 bucks.
Okay. So, and there's, this state tax right here, the dollar amount I put in here, this is the the doc stamps, basically.
So you can change that 0.73 to 0.70. Just put 0.70. It'll calculate it up.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. I'm not going to put anything else really in here. I could put in a transaction fee just because we do, if they call and say, I want to do this. Ooh,
that's a lot of money.
That's not that. Okay. So there's one, right? So I said it was at the low end was 575. Now watch this. This is kind of cool. This is something new that I haven't taught anybody yet. I can actually make 3 seller net sheets. So remember our seller cost estimator that has the 5 that go across if we sell it fast, if it's, average on that. I am actually going to copy this twice. Okay. So, and then I'm not going to say copy of net. I'm going to get rid of that.
What I would change the first name to low estimate net proceeds, high estimate net proceeds, average estimate proceeds. Do something like that. That way they can see on the low end, I'll probably walk away with this. Absolute worst case scenario. I go on the market, my home smells like dog, nobody likes it, they don't buy it, we negotiate, appraisal's bad, blah, blah, whatever. Median net proceeds. This is if we sell around what everything else is selling at. But if mine is nicer, maybe we go on a high end. You'll be able to see, hey, look, you can make X, or Y.
It's weird. It didn't change much.
Enter.
Oh, it did. It went up. Sorry. All right. And then low. And then this was the high.
Yep.
So basically what I'm doing is I am setting 3 net sheets for them. Okay. So I have 3 net sheets here for them. Now that can be confusing. I'll show you when I pull up the presentation of what it actually looks like and kind of how cool it is. So if you were going over this with your buyer or your past client or whatever it is, you can kind of explain what it is. Now that I have this kind of set up, I know Chris is going to make anywhere between 281, 282,000 and 328, give or take, just by looking at that. So once that's finished up, I'm going to go to pages here. And you're going to see this is what we have set up. You're going to have all this information for like a regular CMA that I'm going to leave for them. Now, the only thing that I want to add to this is I want to add a video that actually, and this, I highly, highly recommend this, especially if you have not talked to the person in a while.
Yes.
But I highly recommend to make a video specific to that past client. So, hey, Chris, how you doing? Jimmy here. I know it's been a while since we caught up. I hope the family's good. I saw some pictures on Facebook the other day of how big your daughter's gotten, and holy crap, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Anyways, man, when you get a chance, take a look at this. I just wanted to give you an update on kind of where you stand with your property and what it's worth in the market right now. Take a look below at the presentation. Yada, however you want to do it. This is, you make personal.
Yep. Really easy.
Past client.
Really easy. Use your phone, turn it around selfie mode, quick little video. Great catching up with you earlier when I gave you a chat. Sent you over this email, got some of the values of what your home would be worth and what you might be able to walk away with it. Just thought you should know. I think everybody should know what the value of their home is and how much equity they have. Please reach out to me with any questions. I'd love to sit down and kind of chat about it. By the way, you see all the photos of everything online. Looks like everything's going great. I'm sure you'll be happy to see you're sitting on about $325,000 in equity. You made an awesome decision when you bought your home earlier. Done. Share it. I'm going to add it to Google Drive. That way, when it goes into Google Drive, I've got a video in Google Drive. Copy the link from Google Drive and upload it to YouTube.
Yeah, we want it on YouTube. So and there's two ways you can do it on your phone. If you want, make sure if you are on YouTube to make sure you're logged into your C21BE account. But there is a way in YouTube, if you download the app, you hit the add button and it says upload video, which we could do in that way, or it says create short.
Yes.
So I could create a short, quick 30-second video directly into YouTube, which is what we're going to throw in at the beginning of this presentation. Now, before I do that, let's see, when you answer this question for Carla real quick, when you present the Moxie CMA and you're listing, do you print it, you show it, computer, what are the main pages that you print out in the properties info? Carla, it's all on you. You know, if you, I like to bring my laptop with me. I think it's very interactive. It's very easy to show them. I will send this to them also as I'm on there. Yeah, Brian, thank you for that. Connect via your hotspot so you can do it. It's just so much better live where you can click on stuff and show them what the pictures of the property and things like that. Let's say you can't do that. Yes, you can print it up. You know, Sarah and Team Imagine, they actually do that where they'll print up a listing presentation and a CMA. You just have to go through these pages on the left and see what's the most important to you. And I will tell you,
customer.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you.
Know your customer. Some people want to flip through paper. Some people are very techy. Obviously, this is instance I had dealt with a consumer who was working with a different agent. This consumer was a social media person. She created and consulted for social media, advertising and businesses, created businesses online, made social media pages, did all that stuff. The previous agent didn't know enough about that person to know that that's what they did and didn't do anything on social media with the person's property when they were trying to sell it. So when we talked, it was, yeah, this and that. I was like, okay, well, I understand that. Here's what we do for social media. I've got this. We can create a whole link for it, get it on social media. We create pages. We can create ads. We can do that. We've got this other platform that'll create the ads for us. We got another platform. So we're talking about all this. So know your consumer. If it's somebody who's like that, you're obviously going to use this in a different way. And if it's somebody who's not, you can use it, but it might fall on, deaf ears or blind eyes. So you just have to know your customer.
So to add a page here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click add page.
Adding a video. So if you're going to add
if I'm adding a video, which I highly recommend, and if you're scared to do it, you just got to do it and send it to your family first, just so they could tell you don't look like an idiot. Because I promise you don't. It doesn't have to be this big production and have green screens behind. And no, it's better when it's real. It's you sitting in a car. I mean, you'll go on Instagram and shoot a photo real quick if you sit in the car drinking a coffee. Drink that coffee, do a video and say, hey, how you doing? So I'm going to build a page. Okay. And all I want to do is add a video. So you have 5 different options that you can always adjust, but I'm going to click this first one because I'm just going to add one thing here. So as I come in here, I'm going to, first thing I need to do is I'm going to go to my YouTube page, pull up my videos eventually, and I will put the one that I did. And I have some agents like, well, I don't want everybody to see this. Like, I don't, if it's personal, like, why am I going to put it on YouTube? Because you want them to be able to pull it up at any point. I don't care. I want my clients to see that I look at the service and what I'm doing for my clients. If somebody goes to my YouTube and they see that I'm sending personalized messages to them, that could totally get me that business compared to somebody who doesn't. I'm not saying to do it however you want. But let me see if I can find the one that, that was, I don't even remember which one it was.
Does any of them?
We'll pick this one. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up, and all I'm going to do here is I'm copying it from this, or pull up the page and copy it from up there. But I am copying this link. I'm going to go back to Moxie Present here, and I'm going to add a video. I'm just going to paste that video here.
You can see it asks for a YouTube link or some other link from there. So that's why you want to use YouTube. That's what it's looking for.
So my URL was not good. Did not like me there. Let's try that one more time because it should. I don't like the way that looks anyways. I'm going to go back. That was weird. I'm not sure why that one's happening. We will do this one instead. See, even the young Padawan learner. Why is my... This doesn't normally happen, but hey, you know what? It's good. It's issues.
Try it from try doing it from the web bar. See if that makes a difference.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, that's a scary looking dude.
What?
What?
See?
There
You're
we
welcome.
go. Thank you. Look at that face.
Look
Good
at that
God.
face.
Okay, so when I do this the first time and I'm done, I'm going to save it. Now, again, this is specific to Chris. So I'm going to name it because this will always be available for me to send to somebody. And I'm going to save it under my pages so I can always pull it up if I need it. I'm not going to again after this time probably. So I don't want to delete it though, because that's part of the presentation. So the way I look at it is I'm done now.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll show you kind of what it looks like for the client or your past client. How long should the video be?
Less than a minute.
Less than a minute. Short and sweet. All you're doing is just saying, hey, here you go. I wouldn't actually explain
30.
everything. Have them reach out if they have questions. You're just trying to send this to them.
You know what you also can, okay, and I'm not telling you all to do this. This is done. That was a quick 5 minutes through comps, a minute through the video, getting it uploaded. We're done. Like we took a lot longer going through explaining, but it's done. 10 minutes, you can have this done. If you wanted to, see how Jimmy added a video in the beginning? You can add another page after the comps. If you see the comps that I chose were that do a 1 minute video talking about the comps. You can do another page that you add before the net proceeds. What's coming up next, you're going to see the net proceeds. You'll see a high, a low, a medium. You can go through all that too. You can customize this however you want. If you are somebody who is an overthinker and overanalyzer, don't do that because you're going to be, but what I should, well, that doesn't look right. I don't want to do, dude, this is done. 10 minutes and it's done. Send it out. That's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be real, raw, quick, get it. Beautiful presentation, quick little video. Here's some info.
Yep. And then this is what the estimates look like. So this is the first one. So this is the low estimate, right? There's the median, and then there's the high. So they have 3 different estimates that they can look at. Where do you want to be? But again, this is just getting it out there to start a conversation with them. We're not trying to list their house right this second.
Yep.
Just an awesome way to follow up. And our past clients deserve that from us. We have a duty to do not necessarily this, but something like this for them so they know what's going on.
I think you have a duty to use this.
Duty.
I said duty. This is a presentation that you have access to. And if you're not using it, you're selling yourself and your client short.
Yep. So Sherry said, will this presentation automatically update? The only stuff that will automatically update are the properties that we chose. So if any of the actives go pending, that will automatically update, or pending go to sold, that will update. Using this again for someone else, what I would recommend if you're using, let's say in a farm and you just wanted something more generic, do a generic intro video that just says, hey, I'm Jimmy with Century 21. Do not call it anything specific about the property or that specific client.
Just talk about the neighborhood.
And just talk about the neighborhood or whatever it is, and then do some comps around there and send that out. And then you can continuously send something like that out. And that's actually a good best practice.
But if you're going to do this for specific past clients, don't use the same one and try and change addresses. No. Just
make a new one.
It takes 5 to 10 minutes to do one. So just do a brand new one for each person, shoot a brand new video for each person. It's not going to take long at all. You can have all this done in a very short period of time.
So again, I know we took 30 minutes on this, but once we're done, all I'm going to do is click send. Now, if they are not in Moxie Engage, I would definitely make sure that Chris is in Moxie Engage with me, because what Moxie Engage will do when I start typing out a person, so he is not in my Moxie Engage, so I will go ahead and put his email address in here. But if he's in Engage, I can see his activity. I can see that he received it. I can see when it's sent out. I can see if he opened it, and I can see if he looked through the entire thing.
Yep.
So yeah, so you just put in the email address, put something nice in there. Hey, long time no hear, whatever it is, just like any other email, hit send and you're done.
Perfect.
Okay. So any questions on that before we go to the next?
Really easy. And like Jimmy said, if you wanted to do this in a farm, we're going to show you how to kind of work through some aspects of a farm with like a neighborhood news using Remind.
Yep.
But you can do the same thing in a farm. So most of us, if you live in a neighborhood, you have a neighborhood where most of the homes are 1,300 square foot, 1,500 square foot, 1,700 or 1,900. So like when the builder built, they had 4 models that you could choose from. And so you can do one CMA presentation for this size home, another one for this size home, another one for this size, and hit your entire neighborhood. Do a
Yep.
generic video that you can attach all of them, or separate video for each for all 4 of them. Just really, really simple. You've got comps, a range of $30,000 to $50,000 for all of the 1,300 square foot homes. Another one that's
Yep.
30 to 50 grand for the 1,500 square foot homes. And then when you go into Remind, you can have all of those emails put into there, and you can send them these presentations, letting them know, basically, this is the size of your home. We're going to send them this presentation. Here's the generic value of your neighborhood.
And here's a cute little one that Laura at the Apollo Beach office did, that she did for her community, where she has basically a nice little video that she starts off with. I won't play it to embarrass her right now. Which it's not even in here anyways. It's all gone.
Yeah, no,
She
all
must
the
have,
data
she
came
must
out.
have deleted. Okay.
Okay.
But she has just something really basic that she sent out, and she put it on the Facebook page saying, hey, here's the link, go here, do
So
that kind of stuff.
She took the like a quick CMA or a market analysis from Stellar, the PDF that's in there, and added that as a page. So she didn't want to create something in Moxie, or she didn't see what she wanted in Moxie. So she took a PDF and uploaded it as a page. Here's the market analysis directly from Stellar as a PDF that you can upload.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things you can do. What we have is simple and basic for you. You can run through it in 10 minutes and have some comps set up for past clients of your sphere. That's all we want you to do. Get a video. The video is going to get more traction and engagement than just sending out the presentation.
All right. So now we're going to change focus, and we're going to go towards using Remind, getting them into Moxie Engage, and getting them up on a neighborhood news. I'm going to make this kind of short and sweet. I've already started with Remind. I just did a basic search, and I'm just going to start with this street right here.
So did you select a farm, or have you not done that yet? You just zoomed in on an area?
Well, this is my community, so I always use my community for specific things. So I was going to actually pick kind of this part of my community for.
Okay, so you're going to pick a specific section of a neighborhood that you want to target.
Yep. So you're going to go in, pick whatever that is. Like I worked with Jackie Stone yesterday and Tiffany a little bit, and they're talking about doing whatchamacallit,
Triple Creek.
Yeah, Triple Creek. So but there's a lot of homes. There's like over 1,200 homes in there. That's going to
Yes.
be a lot to do anything with. So now some of this is going to be a little time consuming at first, but once you get them in your system and then they're in your CRM, and to me, it's definitely worth doing any of this. It may take a little time at first. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw out what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do something a little bit smaller just to show. Okay. So I have 60 properties here that I am actually going to work on getting them set up on neighborhood news. When
You
it come-
want to become the master of these 60 homes.
Yep.
On top of other things he's going to do, this is just a set it and forget it opportunity that he has that he can expand off of and do more,
Mhm.
but we can get it in here, quick set it and forget it, so that they're always going to get something from him. But the
Yep.
plan is to always do a little bit more.
So I'm going to select all, okay? And then I'm going to come up here to the right and I'm going to add it to a cart. Now I'm going to name this Jimmy's Farm. Okay. So now that I have those properties saved, I am going to go to my cart. I'm going to come over here on the left, all my different carts. I'm going to go to Jimmy's Farm. I'm going to select all of them, and then I'm going to export them. Again, I'm going to call this Jimmy's Farm. This is how it's going to download on my computer. Next step. Okay. So we're going to be sending emails, right? So all we really truly need to do this, to get started, is first name, last name. If you can get phone number, okay. If not, whatever, because you at least need their email, because we're going to be setting them up on an email campaign.
Yep.
Address, and obviously email address. So I'm going to do property information and owner information. That should be all I need to do for what I'm doing right here. I'm going to go ahead and export it. It's going to take a second for it to do its thing.
Great success.
And then I'm going to go to Moxie Engage while that's doing it. Now, if you download 1,000 contacts, it's going to take a while for your download to be ready.
Please hold while we create your file.
I already did it, so I'm just going to move on. Okay.
It's done. Came down.
Well, that's the one I did earlier. This
Gotcha.
one says Jimmy's Farm.
Gotcha.
To upload a list of contacts. Now, this is the thing. If you are bringing your CRM from if you're bringing in contacts from a different CRM that's not Zap and Business Builder, you're going to follow these steps too, by the way.
So first off, you got to go into Moxie Engage.
You
And
have to go into
I know
Moxie
you said
Engage,
that. but
correct.
Go into Moxie Engage, not Impress or any of that. Moxie
Yes,
Engage.
Moxie Engage. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to hover over where it says people here. And we're going to go down to my people.
Good morning, my people.
Okay. And then what my recommendation is going to be is, well, you need to do this for an import. You're going to click this little settings cog next to find people right here. And you'll see you have some options. You can import. This is the one you want. Import Outlook CSV. Now, again, there's still a couple steps we have to do. And this is why I'm saying it does take a few minutes to do this. Moxie has a specific Excel spreadsheet or CSV file that has to be uploaded for it to work correctly. You cannot take this one that I just downloaded and automatically go into Engage. It's going to give you an error because the fields are not correct.
Okay.
So you're going to have to do this, which will take a little bit of time. Let's see, where do you go for email addresses?
So Claire, when you click on Remine and you go into the cart and you click export, you're going to select the lines to export. Jimmy chose property information, which is going to get the property address, and owner information, which is going to get the owner's name, owner's phone number, owner's email, if available. Not every owner has phone numbers and emails available.
And you'll see that here in a minute when I pull this up.
What we're doing is some have phone numbers and emails in public record. And if they're there, they're in Remind, we could take them out. If they're not, which is just going to give us property address and property owner name. And either one, that's fine too. You at least have it in a separate section for a form.
Yep. So when you're ready to do your upload, one of the first things you're going to want to do is click this help center. Now I can send out this CSV file to everybody that you need to upload into Moxie, but I'm not going to, because I want you to go here. I want you to click this link that says download the required CSV. That way it does not get corrupted or anything like that. You're getting it directly from Moxie and you're not going to have any issues. That's why I send everybody this way instead of just sending a file to them.
Gotcha.
You'll see that it downloaded down here on the bottom, right? Okay, so you also see down, I think you can see down here,
Yes.
it says Jimmy's Farm. That's my CSV or my download from Remind. This is the new CSV. We'll go ahead and pull that up for Moxie. Now this can be confusing as hell for everybody. There is a lot of information that you can put in here for a client if you're doing a huge update. Again, we're not doing that. What do we say? First name, last name, address, and email, at least. Maybe throw in a phone number if you want. Just going to take more time to do everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to pull up both of these. Okay. So on the right-hand side, this is the
Jimmy, how'd you do that? How'd you get a split screen?
Okay, so one of the cool things with Office or with Microsoft, it's just the operating system. I can drag it all the way to the right. It'll pull up and then tell me what else. So I can have two things going, almost like having two screens here.
Yep.
So we know the first thing that I need is first name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to find info. Now you see you're missing some names on some, right? There's going to be addresses that are missing, but I'm just going to do like the first 20 of these just to show you what you have to do, because this is very important to make sure that the data is coming in correctly. I'm going to do the first 20. Okay. So I'm going to highlight that 20 and I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to come over here under first name and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to come over here to the last name for the 20 that I'm doing. Come back over to this one, paste it. I'm going to come over here to the first 20 on address. I don't really care if I have all of the address. I just want to be able to go back into my CRM and know at least the basic. I know this is the farm for that street, so I'm not going to have any of those issues. But we do need to find address over here. So you'll see here where you'll have Home Street 2, Home Street, paste. Okay. And then the last thing I need, and the email's like all the way over here. Oh, come on. We're going to find it. Do we have that? There we go. Okay. That's where we're going to go. Now, this is where you're going to need a little bit more work on this one, because as I come over from Remine, it is going to give me. All right. So you see how some of these emails, there's multiple emails that are in there. Okay. And this is what can take some time, because you can't, it's not, the system is not going to, you literally have to put each individual one of these in Moxie. What I would recommend to do, again, we need to go down to the 20 that we're doing, is I'm going to copy those. I'm going to paste here. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on each one of these. Again, if you got 1,000, that's why it's going to take forever. I'm just going to take the first email address that's in there. So again, this does take a little bit of time, but once I get it set up, I'm not going to have to do it again. I am not putting that person in there. Tell you later.
Well, Tasha.
I know. I'm going to not do me either. So as you can see, out of those 20 that I did, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 emails. So I'm
No.
only going to be able to reach out to.
I do see other categories that say email.
Right. So then this is where you could put in here. So if you wanted to, so let's look at this form a little bit more. Oh, that's a little too far. Okay. Email type. Display name, like I would, but this has a second email address. You
If
can
you
put a third
really-
if you really wanted to. You could put all of them in there.
Yeah. So it really depends on what your level of engagement is planning to be, or how many properties you're planning to focus on. But if we can do this really quick and easy and get it in there.
Okay.
You can also copy and paste the phone numbers, that you have phone numbers. If they're in there in Moxie as well, that'll give you something else that you can connect with.
All right. So basically, again, I have first name, last name. Again, if I want to put a phone number in, I'll just go back here. And one of the things you're going to see here, though, is when we get to the phone numbers, you're going to see if it's DNC or not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's from Remind, which is good. Feel free to put these in if you want to, just so you have it.
Yep.
But I would also put a note saying DNC, so you know off the top of the bat that you should not be probably reaching out to them, at any point anyways. So now that I've done that, again, it's not that much. It's just time consuming.
Yep.
I'm going to save this file. And I'm going to save it as. Okay, so I just put Jimmy's Farm to Moxie, put whatever you want, just as long as you know which one it is. Okay. Now I go back here. I'll show you one more time. You go to people, click my people here. Go to settings, import CSV. We've already done this step, so I'm going to select file. You can see that it's right here, Jimmy's Farm to Moxie. It's going to say importing. If you just try, if there's an error, it will pop up here and let you know, but you can see that it's going through those contacts. Now, I chose 20, but remember, I deleted some because there weren't names and stuff in there. So it actually only ended up being 15. And out of those 15, I only have. I need to get rid of that one. These are all my contacts. Okay. So next step, you're going to come over here to filters, and you will see when you do an import today, when you do that import, it's going to say imported at 413. So if you have 1,000 people in there and you add these 15 people, there's an easy way to filter it. This was what I would do. I go to edit groups. I'm going to add a new group, and I'm going to call Jimmy's Farm that he can't spell. Create. Save. Because I want to be able to search this for months, not just these next couple days. I'm going to filter everybody that I just did. Okay. So those 14 people, that's all that is here are those brand new people I just added. I'm going to select all. I'm going to do two things here. This is how easy this is once you get to this point. Add, I'm going to add them first to the group that
Jimmy's
is
Farm?
Jimmy's Farm.
Knew it. I
Boom.
knew it.
You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to add them to new listing announcements. So they are going to get, anytime I put a house on the market or I sell one, they're going to get an email that they can also unsubscribe from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. Again, they're all selected. So I'm doing it all at one time. Add to, I'm going to click neighborhood news. Now I'm going to do a custom neighborhood news because I don't just want a zip code. I want to pull out the community form so they can see what's happening. What do you know? This looks exactly like what we just did with the Moxie present and the CMA. But what I need to do is I need to go over to that area. Give me a second. Oh, come on. I need to back up. I know it's taking a while because I'm moving all over the place, yo.
Going the wrong way.
Oh, I went too far. All right, this is going to have to do. Okay. I'm going to go to draw again.
Give the kid a crayon and watch him make magic.
But look at what it does. It kind of mixes it up a little bit. Boom. Okay, so this is what I'm setting up for neighborhood news. This is going to everybody that's on here. You can see that only these few are going to get it because I don't have emails for these other people. Next. By the way, I just did that in real time and just set it up for those people on my street.
Yep.
So this is amazing. Also not live, but I can show one formula and no formula solution. Yes. You know what, Rich, let's talk, figure out how to do that. And I would love to show everybody how to do that to make it even easier. So yes, please, Rich, I will send that out to you. I would appreciate any help on that because Excel is not my forte.
It's not my bag.
It's not my bag. It's not my bag of tricks. Would you do a CMA for the neighborhood and neighborhood news? You could. It's up to you. You have everybody you can send it to. They're part of your contacts. You can add it to them. I mean, you could do whatever you want. Now that only took me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I trained it through. So again, it does take some time, but yeah, there you go.
The information, just like we've said before, garbage in, garbage out. The information is going to be as good as you pull out and as good as you put in. So if you're getting into Remind, you can pull as much or as little data out as you want to put into your CMA, into Moxie Engage, or into your CRM, Moxie Engage. So whatever you pull out of Remind is what's going to go in there. And he showed you how you can literally just get them in. He set them up on new listing alerts. So they're going to get new listing alerts and they're going to get a neighborhood news. So multiple opportunities for him to get in front of those people using this platform and tool. And it's a one-time set it. And
I don't have to do anything else. They're automatically, and what I've been telling agents too, is especially the ones that are very active and getting a deal a month. So you're sending out a neighborhood news without doing anything. It's automatically going. So that's one touch point. So that's 12 touch points for your farm.
Yep. Everybody
in that farm that you have an email address for a year. Then let's say you're doing 2 deals a month. Just listed, just sold. That's another 2. So that's another,
24.
that's basically another 24, 36 touch points you're getting for them.
And here's the question. How many times do you have to touch Sphere and past clients in order for you to stay top of mind to them? What are the stats? How many do they have to do?
A lot more than 3.
You got to hit. They say that you need to have 40 to 50 touch points a year with them. 40 to 50 touch points a year with your past clients in your Sphere to stay top of mind. It's easy to do with something like this. Neighborhood news once a month. New listings. If you list one property a month, there's 12 more.
Yep.
So there's 24.
And
If
you're
you
going to sell it
one property a month,
You're going to sell that one anyway.
12 more. There's 36. You're basically there already. That's not counting the once a quarter phone call that you should be doing. Not also counting the mailers you may do once a quarter.
Yep.
Not also counting the text messages you're going to send them. Not counting the social media posts they're going to see that you put up. So it's very easy to get the 40 to 50 touch points a year with your clients when you use the systems, processes, and tools that we have that are accessible and easy to you. And by the way, free.
The other thing I'd do too is I'd probably throw them on like a holiday campaign because it hasn't anything to
That's-
do with real estate.
yep.
That's another 17 touch points that they're going to get. So
Yep.
that's over 50.
And it's free.
And it's free. And it
I mean, you
automatically
can
does
pay,
it.
you can pay for it if you want. You can just bring Jimmy or myself $5 a month and we'll take the money for you. But
Yeah, that's
you don't
good.
need to. It's free.
All right, so I got one more question in here.
Oh, what's the
What's that, Regina? Come on.
Oh,
I don't know how I'm
please,
supposed to answer.
please
Please explain
what
that. I don't know how to answer that.
yeah.
Or
I
I
don't
mean,
know
it
if
may,
that was
Ugg. Is she talking about boots? Because
Ugg
Ugg
boots.
those are boots. Like, I mean, is that
Now
what she's
you
talking
can
about?
retire your Ugg boots because you don't have to walk the neighborhood because you can set them up on Moxie and get them an email.
Well, imagine doing this. You're doing RSP Pro. You're doing like, I mean, there's so many things that you could do. I
But-
mean,
But think about it. Once this is done, how much energy and time are you putting into sending them something once this is set up?
zero.
Okay. Now you're doing RSP Pro, sending them a farming thing with that. How much energy and time is that taking?
Nothing.
Zero. So literally you've done nothing except set it up, spend an hour at most to set all these things up. What is it?
Those are smiley faces.
Oh, it's smiley face.
Okay.
So you spend an hour setting it up and it's something that's going to continue to work for you. This one is free. RSP Pro, you got to pay for. And then an hour here or there, sending messages, making phone calls, creating some social media posts. You're going to keep in touch with them. Set it and forget it. Quick and easy.
So hopefully that was good for you all today.
Oh,
Was it good for you? It was good for me. Was it
me.
good for you too? Was it
Yes,
good for you
sir.
out there in the, yeah.
Good.
So hopefully it was good for you as it was for me.
So we got 9:32. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Easter this weekend. Just a reminder, the offices will be closed on Friday for staffing purposes. You get as much access as you need with your Kissy app, but this offices will not be staffed on Friday for Good Friday. Everybody have a happy Easter this coming weekend. Next Tuesday, we're doing a Easter egg hunt in the Apollo Beach office after the sales meeting at 9:30. If you're local, please come by. If you're not local in the area, please come by and engage and enjoy. We'll have some breakfast and we're going to do an egg hunt over at the Apollo Beach location. So anything else?
Nope. I think we're good.
All right. Happy Wednesday.
See y'all.